so lovely to be interviewing you, Maurice, in India. Truly a pleasure, and thank you for keeping your promise.
I told you next time we'll be in Mumbai, so we are in Mumbai.
So, you know, the last time we met, there was speculation was rife that you were actually looking to acquire IPG, and then, of course, a googly was thrown, and, you know, you decided to shake hands with Omnicom. You know, Maurice, history has shown, whether it be in business partnerships, or it be with lovers, or it be, you know, a marriage, a friendship, no relationship is truly equal. Given that, this is actually, as you say, and John Wren puts it, a merger of equals. Right? Given that you've also stated that both of you all will have a co-leadership role, so both of you jointly are managing this great entity in Publicis Omnicom Group. How is it going to work? Because in the past, even when we saw the City Group merge and we saw, two CEOs who were actually managing such a large operation, there was a fallout. Two very strong individuals, truly an equal relationship. How will this last?
I have many answers to that. The first one is that don't tell my wife that the relationship is never equal. We are married since 50 years, 5-0, and I think that our marriage is based on an equal basis, and she's not dominating me and I'm not dominating her. In reality, I believe she is dominating me. And I agree to that.
Right.
The second answer is the fact that in everything, equality, pure equality doesn't exist.
Sure.
And I know that. And pure equality is not something which exists because you are making so much and so many concessions that at the end of the day, what you are building is falling apart. So what we want to do is a company of one. We want to build a company of one, not a company of two,
sure.
A company of one. And there is the transition period during which we have to build that company, and that's the reason why we need to be the two of us co-CEOs and to work in order to bring our assets together, to bring our client together, and to make all this working. The third aspect is that being two help us covering much more field, much more client than being one. And when I think about some other companies where there is only one CEO, he has not the time to be in Paris and New York at the same moment, or in Shanghai and Rio at the same moment, or Sao Paulo, or Mumbai and Frankfurt at the same moment. While we, as we are two, we can have this ubiquitous possibility.
To be omnipresent.
Exactly.
So what happens after 30 months? Are you going to step down?
It is the plan, and the plan is that I'm becoming chairman, and we will have a relationship which will be a little bit different. I will be less active, and I will be not in an executive role,
sure.
Because there is no executive chairman in the Netherlands. So that is the plan. There is also another advantage in our organization, and why I feel comfortable with this. It's because both, and you mentioned this, John and myself, we have already a very large life of success, many, many years. I'm CEO since 25 years
sure.
plus. He's CEO since more than 15 years. We have a proven track record.
Absolutely.
And we don't need to show that one is on top of the other. So we will work with one single objective in mind, which is we will build the greatest company in the world. And that is what we will be doing.
So are you looking at new leadership then, after 30 months?
After 30 months, John will be the sole CEO, I will be the chairman, and he will be sole CEO for 30 months, which will take us 5 years, and at that time we will be looking at the next CEO of the company.
I want to talk specifically about India and what this merger has done for the group. In India, which is a different market compared to the rest, but WPP has a very big stronghold, 50% almost. With Omnicom and Publicis, sure, you're at 6 agencies at Publicis, now you have 10 with Omnicom, Publicis joint venture. The point is, how does that ensure growth for India in terms of share? What's the plan?
We know, because we know the fact, maybe not as well as you know, but we know the fact, and we know that we have a lot of assets and that there is a lot of possibilities. If you look at India, I would suggest that you look in another way around, if I may.
Sure.
If we believe what has been published by World Bank, IMF, the largest country for middle class will be India by 2030.
Sure.
Which means an incredible potential. Which means that including with the basis that we will have together, we will still need to invest and we will still need to put more people to work and to invest in R&D, in digital, in mobile communication, etc. The potential of India is not only untapped in terms of middle class, but today India is a very low investor in advertising compared to other markets. And as India is planning to become one of the biggest markets of the world, and if we believe all these statistics, at a point in time, India will enter the top 5 countries of the world. In that case, India will have to invest massively in advertising. And if we want to take a share of that investment, we need to have brands, agencies, which are separate, with talent which are appropriate, and at the same time to find a way to combine some of our businesses in order to deliver to our client integrated communication. So it will be a very interesting period, and I believe that with our capabilities, we will grow faster than many of our competitors.
So let me pose the question in another way. You now have some adopted children. Okay, you had your own, you've adopted a few, right? But there's only so much food on the table as of now and in the foreseeable future. So the point is, your adopted children will now feed off the same food or fight for the same food that's on the table. So how is this a growth plan?
There is 2 things that you have to take into account. The first one is that the adopted children are bringing their own food.
Okay. Yes, sure. You have bought share. You have bought share. But that share is also not very significant.
No, I agree, but they are bringing their own food.
Okay.
They are not starving.
Sure.
That's one thing. The second is that in a good family, the father is giving his food to the children if you want the children to be well educated and growing well.
Okay.
And the other thing that you have to understand also, if I may, is that there is no adopted children in this family. There is a marriage by which the 2 parents, which will be...
You and John?
Yeah, me and John. But it's not a gay marriage. These 2 parents will take care of the whole family. And no one will be adopted, no one will be a stepchild. They will all be part of the same family with the same care and love from the parents.
But give me a sense that you're looking to this great 10 agencies that you now have, looking to combine forces and make them one powerful house, or you're going to maintain them as, 10 fragmented units. Is there some kind of consolidation now within the Publicis Omnicom group that we'll see?
As I told you, and I will be extremely honest with you, we have not the right to discuss these issues.
But I'm on the right path.
I have not said that. I have said I have not the right to discuss this with John.
Okay.
That's the first thing. I'm trying to give you a full answer. The second is that you have to think with a market which is highly dynamic,
okay,
which is India. And if you are thinking about the India of the past, people can think, yes, there is many operations, far too many. If you are thinking about the India of the future, people may think there is not enough. Because the needs of advertisers will be huge. Let's pause for a moment and think about all these fantastic Indian entrepreneurs. If India want to become this top 5, or top 10, top 6, 7 market of the world in 20 years, there will be a need for investment. There will be a need for shifting from being a country of outsource for being a country of R&D, innovation and creation, and building brands, and developing outside the country.
Sure.
For this, the marketers, these entrepreneurs, and I believe that India has some of the best entrepreneurs of the world, will have to be assisted, helped by advertising agencies, marketing operations, digital agencies, etc. And the more you look at this, the more you see that we will need our brands, we will need our assets, we will need to develop them, and we will need to grow them even more. So I'm fully confident that we will not need to combine operations, to break down things which are working well, and we will need to strengthen them rather than to breaking them down.
Would you agree that right now the world is in an extremely dynamic place globally? We are very different in terms of the landscape than we were, let's say, 5 years or even 7 years ago. It's very different. Given that, even in today's environment, we saw two very powerful global advertising conglomerates actually come together and it was consolidation at the global level. So if you can have, in today's day and age, which is so complicated, so complex, at the global stage consolidation, why would you rule out consolidation at the local level or the regional level?
We are merging the two companies.
Yeah.
We have not said, and we have even said the contrary, that we will be merging the agencies. So we are not merging Publicis with BBDO, or Saatchi with TBWA, or Leo Burnett with DDB Needham, which is DDB today. So we are not doing any of these. And therefore, if we don't do it at the global level, why should we do it at local level? So we have not that intention today. It is absolutely crystal clear. We want also to invest in innovation. We want to invest in new tools in order to manage the big data. We want to strengthen the partnership with Google, with Facebook, with all our partners. And for that, size matters. And that's the reason why size is important and combination is important.
Sure. I'm so glad you brought about size, because with this merger, your media outfit can become really large and can take on a media behemoth like Group M, for instance. Is there a plan to integrate all your media assets and become a powerful gorilla to take on, a lion who we already have sitting in this market?
You are obsessed by integration and mergers.
Isn't that the buzzword now? Aren't we going to go back to what we were actually?
No, I understand, but we have built separately operations. We have already Starcom MediaVest on the one hand and Zenith Optimedia on the other hand. We never decided to bring them together. Why should we, with OMG, OMD and PhD, merge them together? This would make no sense.
Not merge them, but bring them together under one media outfit, just like Group M.
Group M is doing what we have done with Vivaki. which is nice. They have done it after we have created Wwatch, which is interesting. They came with the idea of digital and emerging market a few years after we did it. So we are fine with that. Each one has his own approach. We will have an innovative approach. When it will be time to announce it, I will come to see you.
Tell me, do you think now, given that both of you, two big holding companies that have come together now, the biggest conglomerate, do you think WPP should be acquiring IPG? I'm
not the kind of guy who is commenting about competition. I know somebody else who is commenting always about the competition. It's not my case. My competitors, I respect them, and they are doing their business, and I'm not going to say anything either against them or to hamper their ability to do anything. If they want to merge, welcome. Speculate. I never do that.
Well, that's great, but I wish you had commented on that one, considering we hear so many opinions of what you should be doing.
I know that there are people who are speaking a lot about what we should be doing, what we are doing, what we are not doing, why it's not working or it will not work. I know all this, and this is fine. I'm very pleased to see that at least I'm giving a subject for conversation to people who seem to be lacking interest in what they are doing normally. So at least I have revived their interest in their business.
Tell me, the speculation is rife that you're in talks with Sam Balsara for Madison Communications. That's actually not a bad buy at all, given the fact that you're also looking to strengthen your media space. How serious is your intent?
I know Sam since many years, and I'm very sorry to do not have the time to see him during my trip, which I believe is an indication. If I had any negotiation with him, I should be at least visiting him, but I'm taking advantage of this to say hello to him.
Okay. The other interesting speculation is the fact that Publicis is going to be buying out Law & Kenneth.
What else? Tell me, what are we going to acquire?
Law & Kenneth, the advertising agency. So if you can give me some sense of when that is actually likely to happen, because, you know, we pretty much here are aware that deal is almost sealed.
I know Pravin since many years because Pravin has been a leader in Publicis, has been working, and I think that it should be wrong for me to comment on any rumors, speculation.
Come on. Okay. My question on, I'm pretty certain that in terms of the digital space, Publicis has really ramped their operations up. My question to you is, while yes, you have expanded your digital space significantly and your offerings are par excellence, the point is digital does not build anybody's fortune. At best, it allows, an offering. So, traditional media is still where all the big money lies. So my question is, how do you convert digital, which is getting more and more significant, into actually being extremely profitable?
Okay, digital has built a lot of fortunes, if I may. Sorry to contradict you, but if you look at Larry Page, Sergey Brin, Mark Zuckerberg, etc., all this is based on digital. So digital can build fortune. And in the media space or the advertising space, you have seen what has been done recently with the recent operation of a very nice French agency operation. It's not an agency, it's a technology company called Criteo, and Criteo has been floated on the NASDAQ with a market cap of $2 billion for a revenue of 400 million. So it shows that they have a multiple of 5, which is quite incredible. So you can make a lot of money in the digital, maybe not immediately, but you will make money. And I must say, when you look at the Publicis margin, despite the fact that we have close to 40% of our business which is digital, we still have the highest margin of the industry.
Right.
So there is maybe something wrong.
You know, there is a new school of thought. You know, every few years advertising comes up with different schools of thought. So there seems to be a new school of thought after speaking to a variety of marketers that this whole debundling of, you know, advertising really, which is split into so many now small units, is not working for the client anymore. And they want to go back to that full service agency once again, which is the classical form, you know, many, many years ago when advertising was so much more simpler.
When I started.
Exactly. Exactly. Seems to be the new school of thought. Integration seems to be the new word, but really what you're talking about is going back to a full service agency. Are you of the opinion that that is the way forward, to go back to what we were used to as a full service agency, because it's becoming extremely difficult to be servicing clients because, you know, they're lost because they have no point, one person, one point to really, you know, coordinate all these activities?
There will be. You want my opinion.
Absolutely.
So I will give you my opinion. I have not a crystal ball, but I will give you my opinion. I think that the people who think that there is a one-size-fits-all solution are wrong. We will have, as always, a combination. We will have clients who want to give their media strategy, their media planning, or their media buying, or their digital to one agency, period. And they want to pick and to cherry pick according to their needs. And there will be clients, and more clients, I agree with that, who want integrated solutions, because it is extremely complicated in this connected world to have one single solution without a total integration. And we will see more and more of this happening. This is what we were calling at Publicis a few years ago, not so long ago, just 15 years ago, we were calling this holistic communication.
Sure.
And we are back to holistic communication. It's like fashion. When you look at the designers, they are reinventing, and today they are doing things which are what people were wearing in the 50s.
Sure.
That is how things work.
Right. Right. If I could just ask you your predictions for 2014 in the advertising and marketing world.
We will have 3 or 4 things which will happen. Return to growth, which will be a good thing. The fact that China will come back, and they have made a lot of decisions which will make sure that the growth in China will be back.
Sure.
That France will not win the World Cup, which was too bad, and that the merger of Publicis and Omnicom will be a great success.
Great. On that note, let me first wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy, happy New Year. And as always, a pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much for giving me this.
Thank you, and happy holidays for you, and Happy New Year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.